Welcome to the Center of Love. We are here together with like-hearted individuals in a community. And I wanted to just pause on that for a moment. Just stretch it out. How special the community is. We're here coming together in fellowship as a group of people who maybe have a few things in common. And maybe that we're all a little bit different. We do things our own way, but I like to think that we respect and honor the way that other people come, that they approach with loving kindness. Now, whatever it is precisely that we're doing here, we're in this together. That's a beautiful thing. We're carrying on the age-old traditions of this cosmos of coming together and creating something worthwhile. Now, everything that you are coalesced, gravitated, and perhaps even somewhere decided to be here on Earth. Here we are today. We're here to be together. And that's what this is all about, isn't it? We, I believe, have recognized that to some extent. So here we are to share in wisdom, healing, and love at the center of love. And today we're going to be talking about, probably guessed it, love. We're trying something different here today. The center, yeah. And if you've read Tracey's synopsis for today, you might be thinking that we're sitting for a 2-hour lecture. It was pretty expansive. I have no clue how she's going to cover everything that she listed in there, but I believe in her. It's a lot. And since I'm not sure how to fully introduce all of those topics, I'm going to just consider the 1959 Disney film Sleeping Beauty for a minute, as you do. What I think often gets overlooked about that film, is everyone familiar with the film, by the way, Sleeping Beauty? Oh, yeah. Yeah. What I think often gets overlooked is that they're actually both asleep. And people see the maiden Aurora asleep, and that's kind of what they see for the most part. But Philip's asleep as well. And so it's a story about the sleeping or dormant beauty that rests inside the possibility of our truly connecting. And I'll just unpack that for a minute. I think it helps to frame the story in terms of archetypes. So Philip is a masculine warrior training for battle to protect, honor, and persist. Aurora represents the maiden feminine, the priceless, playful, and adventurous aspect of the feminine, often found in youth. Now, despite the most overbearing protective measures of her parents, when she reaches sexual maturity, she's wounded by the world. And she goes to sleep, waiting to be honored and held by something that's able to keep that maiden feminine safe. Because she's unable to persist on her own, which is okay. It's okay to be dependent, to be collaborative, cooperative. But Philip is missing his full potential as well. And until he encounters Aurora, the light of the maiden feminine, he's also asleep. He's a boy playing at being a man. And so he sees himself as all of these warrior attributes, as like I said, the training, the honor, the persistence, all those thoughts, like just as some of us may have experienced, identifying with thoughts, identifying with feelings, and thinking that's all that we are. Until he encounters someone else who sings to him, who calls to him. And in that moment, Philip transforms into the warrior lover. I'm not even saying that's all that he's capable of. I'm probably capable of a lot more than that too. But in that coming together, Aurora embodies the maiden queen, and Philip, the warrior lover. And that only happens when they come together. Just like what we're working at here. We are so much more capable and full of potential, I think, than even we know. Think about all the possibilities that are still in you, that are unrealized. It's endless. And sometimes it takes someone else to unlock them, it seems to me. Now, before I talk about Sleeping Beauty for another hour, I'll let you just make of that what you will. The point is that when we truly come together, when we connect, we unearth dimensions of our potential that may have remained dormant forever for that moment, if not for that connection. This is part of the splendor of this peculiar predicament that we find ourselves in as human beings. Now, you may wonder what any of this has to do with Tracey's talk. And I think you'd be justified in it. Well, you talk about love, connection, masculine and feminine archetypes, and also is just something that I've wanted to talk about for a while. Fascinates me. I hope it's done some justice to Tracey. Either way, Tracey's talking about a lot. She'll be touching on some of those things. I think I would be a bit skeptical of somebody trying to tackle all of that if it wasn't Tracey. She's a special human being. Tracey pays attention and looks deeply into the world. When we first met, we talked about listening, which is fascinating. I think it's an often overlooked skill to listen and pay attention and be present. But that's what we talked about first meeting. So I think we were both happy about that. And from then on, we've enjoyed what seemed like countless moments, weaving through thought, philosophy, and spirit together. And it's truly been a delight and an honor to spend time with Tracey. And she's one of the most curious and expansive minds that I've yet come across. And I know we are in for a treat today. So let's welcome Tracey to the pulpit today.
I don't even know what to say after that. And what a beautiful segue into it. And I love all the fairy tales. There's so much deep meaning in there. And I'll just say the topic may seem big, but only 7% of communication is verbal. So you're getting 93% of something else from it. You don't even know what yet. So my intent today is to impart to you my deepest truths that I've learned about love, relationships, and relationship truths and disciplines for success in this life. And so I ask you, based on the ancient teachings of the meek shall inherit the earth, and meek meaning the teachable, to ask yourself, what can I learn today? Why must I? And when will I use it? So to begin, I like to start with love. As Ben so gracefully said, let's talk about something new. And there's always more, right? My understanding of love is there's levels of love, and it can be categorized in many ways. And I've heard it say egocentric, level 1, me. And it's an important part because if we haven't worked on ourselves, our ego has to take care of us. The physical constructs of this world, the body, the animal part, keeps you safe and secure, and it's important. And it kicks in when you haven't done your work as a soul. So to fill your cup, to know your agreements with yourself and put yourself first, it's not a time for a relationship, although many people go there and it causes a lot of heartache. That's the time for friendship. To start there and begin, fill your cup, know yourself. And then there's level 2, which is called ethnocentric, which is really about community and coming together and compromise. It's a time for comfort, convenience, and proximity, and a way of communing more on a sharing level. It's been called other things like trading, and it's a level of love for sure. Not the deep communion I think we all crave. And then there's level 3. Level 3 is that level where your cup is full, it's overfilling, and you go to give. That's where the true joy is. In relationships, the meaning of a relationship is to amplify emotion. Now, if you've done your work and you've made yourself safe and secure, and you've been out in community with others, contributing, giving comfort and care to those, you're able to give to others. You can go into a true relationship of communion, deep communion, where two souls unite. And it's simply a place to give, and that's all you do. It's about you, my love, not about me. And this is the level of love I think we all want to get to. And then there's a 4th level. Greater than world-centric, it's more the multiverse, and it's the Dalai Lama and those who love and pray for those who hurt them even. And it's an even deeper way to love. I love the physical world, and I believe we all came here. We left spirit where we're all one and we have all energies, and we split into the feminine and the masculine in order to experience that coming back together again and have the fun of it and the polarity. And there's got to be a reason for everything. So when we came to this earthly world, we made a choice, and we left part of ourself behind, part of our energy, to incarnate into a physical side of that, a feminine or masculine. And as such, there's levels of that integration that we make too. When you come into the world as a feminine, there's a stage 1 where you learn about your feminine body, or a masculine where you learn about your masculine body and your capabilities and your ability to move with that energy, because the physical gives you an ability to see what you are. But you're only seeing half of it. So a level 1 feminine would be one who's very into her body and learning about it and using that physical energy, and good dancers and mastery over the body and what it can do. And a level 1 masculine, it takes a lot of consciousness to be very good at building and creating and providing. In order to make money, people who are successful in the world have to have a lot of consciousness. And sometimes it seems like they go all the way into that, and you find beautiful relationships created from stage 1, masculine and feminine, where one has created great wealth, the other very, very in their feminine, and you see these matches because it's always a match, right? Energies are a match. Emotions are magnetic, and the purpose of a relationship is to magnify emotion, and it is. Then those two coming together magnify great. Then as we transcend a little further into ourselves and our energies, and we realize this is the physical that we have within us more. So as apologies, that was off. The next stage of development is to realize that you're more than the feminine. There's masculine within you as well. And so a feminine woman then begins to build businesses, go into that building part and learn about what that energy can create for them, for their life. And they tend to use that masculine energy, but their body's still feminine. And the body still craves the feminine hormones and that ability to reset to life. And the masculine will go more to maybe a surfer dude and cooking and exploring those feminine, easier, lighter sides. And so you have this polarity in the physical between feminine and masculine with a layer of energetic feminine and masculine. And those two can come together and be very, very successful, either in their energies with the polarity or in their physical. And so that's stage 2 development. Now, stage 3 is when you have truly mastered both your physical and your energetic being. And you can come together and reset and choose, go back into your natural polarities, but polarity is always needed in a relationship. So either you're coming from your energetic and the masks that we put on in this world to learn the energetic, or you're coming from all of who you are because you've explored all of who you are. So that's why personal work becomes so, so important. And then to have a successful relationship, wherever you are in in your level of masculine and feminine, physical or energetic exploration, I have discovered for myself the things that work, and others too. There are 5 disciplines, and I like to call them 5 truths. And the first being, know the truth of who you are, that you are unconditional love and compassion. And no matter what is going on for you, that discipline to be who you are when the triggers are up, to come from that place and show that unconditional love. You can have your agreements and boundaries. Just always show up for the other from that place. No other way. Because all pain comes from focus on yourself. So if you focus on the other, the love that you share, you can resolve anything. The second discipline of absolute truth is to be courageous and vulnerable. That you can open up and tell the truth, say everything no matter what, but say it kindly, quickly, and clearly. Otherwise, we allow things to stagnate and stagnate, and that's the ruin of the relationship. Say it and say it kindly. Thirdly, the discipline of positive intent, the truth of understanding, no matter what, there is a good intent underneath all that's said. And then the goodness will come through, whether it's to preserve or to meet a need, that if you pave that intention with love, you'll get back to your core with each other. So, never question someone's intent. You can question their behavior, that's okay, but know that there's a reason they're doing it. They think that it's good, and it might be good for self-preservation. It's not something you need to understand. It's not a time or a place for them to be in a relationship. But if you are in a relationship, question their behavior and not their intention. And the fourth truth is to speak your truth. And that is no FUs and no I'm leavings. If you're in a relationship, this is going to trigger the person's nervous system. So when you speak to them, you speak from that place. I'm here. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm here. And then the fifth truth is getting free. The truth of freedom. We're all free to choose in every moment. And they're choosing to be here with you as you're choosing to be with them. And you'll return to that truth. We live in love. And you'll return to where your needs and your love is met. Nobody ever loves someone that needs, that loved them unconditionally, that spoke the truth to them, that was truly in it with them. I hope that there's been some insights for you today from that, that perhaps it's giving you something to think about. And in this physical world, it's apparent everywhere that there is a masculine and a feminine energy, Mother Earth, Father Sun. And as we go into meditation now, I'd like to ask that if you're in a feminine body, you be the receptacle, the receiver, like the earth receives the sun, and lean back and allow your body to reset to its feminine core and receive the protection and providing of the sun. And men, I would ask that you send love, and women that you just learn to receive as you're born into the pleasure body and the fortune to have them. So enjoy.
That was something. Thank you everyone for showing up, for speaking your truth, for being curious, asking questions, sharing. I feel like we traverse a lot of mental and spiritual territories together. I, for one, am grateful for that. And for you, thank you for being here.